Hello, my name is Katie Byers and I am the Assistant Director of Career Services at Pitt-Greensburg. Thank you for taking the time to listen to our recording on applying to graduate school. I'm excited to share with you a few points of information to keep in mind when considering whether to apply for a graduate program. I will also walk through the traditional application process so you know what to expect. Graduate school has become an increasingly popular route for students to take within their first few years post-graduation. Some may apply to graduate programs during their senior year to continue their education immediately following graduation, while others prefer to take a year off or so before applying to financially and physically prepare themselves for additional education. It truly depends on your unique preferences and goals. If you're ever unsure whether graduate school is right for you, Career Services is certainly happy to help you weigh your options. When considering graduate school, it's important to understand your intentions and goals. Graduate and professional programs tend to have a higher tuition than that at the undergraduate level, and knowing that, it's wise to make a decision that's financially sound. A few reasons you might consider graduate school are if continued education is necessary for reaching your career goals. For instance, many careers in healthcare, such as occupational therapy and speech-language pathology, require a license or certification to practice. Some may choose to go on to graduate school to increase their credentials. In many industries, a higher degree can lead to increased pay potential. I'll add one note here. In many industries, some employers offer tuition assistance for continuing education for particular graduate programs. Employers want their employees to be well equipped and knowledgeable, so many have resources to offer financial assistance. So this is something that's certainly worth looking into if you're considering graduate programs. Another reason to go on to graduate school could be to further research your subject area of interest or to specialize in a particular area. For instance, those who really enjoy studying history might consider pursuing a master's degree and specializing in that particular era. When considering graduate school, it's important to reflect upon what is drawing you to that choice. If you are drawn to the decision because you're unsure of what you would like to do or you feel stuck, it might be best to meet with Career Services or a faculty member first to explore all your options and make sure you're making a commitment that is right for you in the long run. There are many things to take into consideration when exploring graduate programs. First and foremost, determining a geographic region can help you really narrow your options. If you know you'd like to stay in a particular state, you can then search for graduate programs within that region. Equally as important is choosing the type of program and level of education desired. For those looking to go into the medical field, there are post-baccalaureate programs to help you prepare for medical school as well as boost your transcript. If you're looking to specialize in a particular area, such as social media marketing, but not looking for a 2 or more year degree program, certificate programs might just be a great option to research. Master's degrees are typically about 2 years in length and they're available in a wide range of subject areas. Doctorate programs are a bit longer, they're about 3 to 5 years in length, and some doctorate programs do require a master's degree upon application. In the world of graduate programs, there really are more online and hybrid options available if that's something that fits your lifestyle and needs. So think about what works well for you. If you prefer in-person classes and would like to attend school about full-time, an in-person model of instruction might be best. Along with that, think about whether you would like to attend classes during the day or strictly at night. Some programs and schools have multiple or only one option. Most graduate programs, regardless of institution size, do have a smaller, close-knit feel, but if the size of the institution is important to you, that might be another factor to consider. In addition, consider what aspects of the program are important to you. Do you want a lot of research opportunities? Are you looking for a program that has a lot of real-world experiences embedded into the program? Checking out the program websites can really help you understand what it offers and how it can help you achieve your career goals. Finally, it's important to research graduate programs early on to make sure that you're meeting the admissions requirements. Many programs have a minimum GPA, about a 3.0, and many require applicants to have completed a particular list of courses in college. All of this information will be listed on the program's website, but if you ever have questions about locating this information, you're certainly always welcome to reach out to Career Services. After narrowing down a few factors such as the program and degree type, you're all set to begin your search. There are a few different ways that you can search for graduate programs. First and foremost, connecting with career services, faculty, staff, and any family or personal connections can be a really invaluable way to learn of various options, as well as hear of any firsthand experiences. We strongly recommend using online resources such as gograd.org, petersons.com, and gradschools.com to explore programs and filter your search by location, type, and institution size. As you discover programs, visit their webpage location on the respective university's website. There will be a lot of helpful information, including contact information, components of the program, admissions requirements, and more. Finally, each year, Pitt-Greensburg Career Services hosts a graduate and professional school fair in early October. At this event, students and alumni have the opportunity to meet with a great lineup of representatives from regional graduate and professional school programs in all subject areas. So watch your email and our social media accounts for some event announcements for the next grad fair. Financing your graduate school experience is certainly a significant consideration. The cost of tuition tends to be higher at the graduate level, and you might have to plan your finances for books and other fees, rent, groceries, and bills. At the graduate level, there are still some opportunities to complete the FAFSA and take out loans to help you fund your education. In addition, many institutions offer federal work-study positions on campus in which graduate students are eligible to apply. This would allow you to work on campus while completing your studies. Many institutions also offer assistantship programs. These on-campus work experiences do vary on each campus, but most of them will offer some type of stipend as well as pay for some, if not all, of your tuition. If you're interested in learning more about different ways to help you fund your education, certainly contact your schools of interest to find out what scholarships, student employment, and assistantship opportunities are available to graduate students at that particular university. There are a few application requirements that are pretty consistent for most graduate and professional school programs. You'll be asked to submit official copies of your transcripts for every college or university at which you've taken classes. So if you've transferred from another institution, or if you've taken some summer courses at another college, you might have to contact those schools to obtain your transcripts. At Pitt-Greensburg and at most universities, you can either contact or visit the registrar's office to request official transcripts from those schools. In addition, schools might ask for a copy of your resume to see an overview of your academic, work, and volunteer experience. If you'd like to meet with someone in career services, we'd be more than happy to talk to you about your resume or give you some feedback on that. Additional common application requirements include personal statement and standardized test scores. We'll take a look at each of these a bit more closely in just a few minutes. Typically, graduate school applications are located online on the university's website, and there are usually fees associated with submitting online applications. It's important to keep track of any shadowing or direct care experience you gain within your field of interest, because some graduate programs, depending on your industry of interest, may want to see a running list of all of these experiences. Finally, interviews might be an aspect of the application process to further gauge your interest and fit within the program. An aspect of the graduate school application process to certainly keep into consideration is standardized tests. Although not every program requires an entrance exam, it does take careful planning and preparation to take an exam if it is required for your program of interest. As with all of the other aspects of the application process, it's best to take a look at each program's requirements to make sure that you're planning for all of the areas. The most general and most common entrance exam is the GRE. I joke that it's the SAT or ACT of graduate school because it's an evaluation of your reading, writing, and math skills, pretty similar to the SAT and the ACT. Many healthcare areas do have unique entrance exams such as MCAT for medicine, PCAT for pharmacy. Each exam does have their own website in which you can visit to learn more about the exam components as well as schedule time to take it. As we record this video in 2021, most exams are being offered virtually through a proctored system. However, exams are traditionally administered at a testing location on site. More information would be located on the exam website, so if you have any questions about that, you can certainly take a look at each individual website depending on the exam that's required for you. With standardized tests, it's really important to plan in advance for these. Exams can be pretty pricey, so planning your finances in advance is helpful. In addition, you'll want to give yourself plenty of time to learn about the test, as well as study and brush up on your skills. If you have to take an exam, I recommend focusing on this area as soon as possible. Many students look to begin studying during the spring of their junior year and take the exam during summer between junior and senior year. This gives them plenty of time to retake the exam if they would like to try to increase their score. And a final note is that many programs do have a minimum score that they will accept, so it's important to pay attention to this when preparing for your exam. Many programs do list their average exam scores and GPA of their most recent class of students on their website, so you can take a look at this information to see where you fall into comparison. If you are uncertain of where to begin with standardized tests, please feel free to contact Career Services. We'd definitely be happy to help direct you to any resources or answer any questions you might have. One of the most important parts of the application process are the letters of recommendation. Each program will differ in the amount of letters of recommendation they request, as well as who they would prefer to write the letters. Most programs will request about 3 letters of recommendation from professors, professionals in your field of interest, or current and former supervisors. Most programs will list their preferences within their application guidelines, but if your program of interest doesn't list specifications, it's helpful to have at least 1 letter from a professor and 1 letter from someone who can speak to your work ethic outside the classroom. If you've developed a connection to someone within your field of interest, they can certainly make a great connection as well. When asking if someone would be willing to write a letter of recommendation for you, it's best to ask them in person if possible. If they agree to write a letter, it can be helpful to share your interest and goals with them so they can learn more about your motivation. In addition, sending your resume and list of programs to which you are applying can help them tailor their recommendation to relate to that program. Recommenders will receive an email from the application website, which they can use to upload their letter. You might be asked within the application portal whether you would like to waive your right to view the letter. We always recommend waiving your right. It can be tempting to want to read the letter, but it's really important to send the message to the admissions committee that you trust your recommender and you believe that they would write a strong letter for you. Many healthcare and professional programs such as law, medicine, and physical therapy utilize centralized application systems. These systems allow you to complete just 1 application that would be sent to each school that you indicate. Within these systems, you would upload 1 personal statement, 1 set of recommendations, and 1 set of transcripts. This helps you remove all the repetition behind applying to multiple programs in multiple schools. With centralized applications, you submit just 1 personal statement, so it's best that you don't specify the name of the schools for which you're applying because it will be sent to all the schools that you indicate within the application portal. To gauge your interest in the individual programs, many schools do typically request a secondary application or additional essays. These would be your opportunity to really express what draws you to each of the programs that you're interested in and let them know why you believe that you would be a great fit for their program. We have a separate recording on navigating centralized applications, so please feel free to check it out if you would like to learn more about centralized applications, or of course you're always welcome to reach out to Career Services and we'd be happy to walk you through these programs. Another important aspect of the application process is the personal statement. This is essentially an essay you write to provide an overview of your experience, interest, and motivation for pursuing your field of interest. Some programs have prompts or questions they would like applicants to address, while others are completely open-ended. Regardless, you are typically essentially answering the following questions. What led you to become interested in this field? What are your career goals and how can a graduate program help you reach them? What experiences do you have in relation to your career of interest? Why are you a competitive applicant? We have a separate recording on personal statements as well, and you're more than welcome to take a look at that if you'd like additional information on how to write a compelling and competitive personal statement. Thanks so much for taking the time to listen to our recording on applying to graduate schools. I hope that this helped you gain additional insight into the process of searching for and applying to graduate programs. But as always, please don't hesitate to reach out to any one of us in Career Services for assistance with your grad school search and preparation process. We're always happy to help you research programs and create a game plan.